so much Disney Cruise news. So first off, we have to start with the Disney Destiny. This is Disney Cruise Line's newest ship. It will have its maiden voyage this fall, November 20th. They will have 4 and 5 night cruises from Fort Lauderdale to the Bahamas and the Western Caribbean. Now this ship is super exciting. This is Disney Cruise Line's first ever heroes and villains focused ship. This will be their 3rd Wish class ship. This is such a great idea because Heroes and Villains is such a huge fan favorite. The villains have a very dedicated set of fans, and they just don't get much love. Of course, they're villains, so that's why, but still, it's part of the experience, it's part of the fantasy. So I'm really excited to see that the Disney Destiny is going to embrace both the heroes and the villains, because Disney villains are meant to be fun. Well, for the most part. Now, there have been multiple highlights for the Disney Destiny over the last month. So I want to show you a few things here that are going to be on board. To me, one of the best aspects of a Disney cruise ship is all of the art, all of the Easter eggs, all of the intellectual property that's going to go into the ship, but you kind of have to go looking for it, especially with Easter eggs. We know Disney loves a good Easter egg. So first, we have a look here at this art. And honestly, there is so much great art on the ship. Make sure you look around through the hallways, especially in the stairwells. You're gonna find a ton of Easter eggs. Now, the cruise ship is still being finished up. They're getting it ready for November, but while they're working on the ship, there are so many aspects of the interior and the entertainment that is also going on. And I've got quite a few in this video for you. First of all is this artist spotlight for Hannah Laughlin. She's creating a collection of 3 Easter egg loaded still life paintings. So if you're an Easter egg person, make sure you look for these when you're on board. These are going to be inspired by Disney villains: Captain Hook, Prince John, and the Evil Queen. So each of these is honoring one of those villains. For Captain Hook, they've got gold, they've got silk, they've got jewels, feathers, all of these things that you're going to find in Captain Hook's private quarters. There's also some smaller details in here that are very intentional. There's a lantern door on the left, slightly ajar as if Tinkerbell just made her escape. Once you're on the ship, these will be located in the Deck 4 corridor, right near Hook's Barbary. On June 25th, we got a new look at DeVille's Piano Bar. I'm really excited about this one. This is one of the villainous entertainment experiences that's going to be on the Disney Destiny. So if you can't get enough of this diabolical diva, you definitely want to enjoy an evening at DeVille's Piano Lounge on board the Disney Destiny. This is going to pay homage to Cruella's fashionista legacy, and on June 25th, they actually gave us a new look at DeVille's. This is really about how the Walt Disney Imagineers are bringing this space to life. It's going to be located just beyond the Grand Hall with a big marquee that says DeVille's, but of course with Disney's attention to detail, it's not just going to be a sign. The letters are designed to look like piano keys. I think that's really cool. Setting the scene for an evening of live music and chic cocktails. We got to look at their cocktails last month actually, and even that's going to be an experience at DeVille's. They have this really cool barware, and this drink even comes with strawberry shortcake popcorn. What they really want to bring to life here is Cruella's flair for style, her wickedly bold attitude. It's going to have really uniquely shaped furnishings with a real luxurious feel, rich textures, couture fabrics, all drawing inspiration from her color palette of black, white, and red accents. Now they've got this really eye-catching spotted piano that's going to be the focal point of the venue. Even the carpet's going to have it. It's going to appear ink splotched and hand-drawn as a tribute to Ken Anderson, and that's the artist who oversaw the designs of the characters in Disney Animation's 101 Dalmatians. Even with the carpet in the lounge, they are throwing it back to the original creators. That's just one example of how they can put Easter eggs on the cruise ships. And preview cruises for the Disney Destiny are starting to book, so make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell. We'll let you know as soon as we get a real look inside the ship. Now, before we leave the Disney Destiny, they also have a brand new stage show, and that is going to be based on Disney's Hercules. The Broadway style shows on the cruise ships are amazing. They're so well acted, the music, the effects, and these puppets on the new ones are next level. It will take multiple people to operate this one, I'm sure, because this is based off the puppet from the Moana stage show, and it takes 4 people to operate the one on the Disney Treasure for the Moana stage show. So they've got this huge puppet in progress, and along with that, they've got the development for the entire show going on. And actually, earlier this month, Disney Live Entertainment was in Nashville, and they recorded the music for the new Hercules stage show. They have a 17-voice choir with some of Nashville's greatest gospel singers to reimagine the iconic soundtrack from Disney's Hercules. This is meant to have a soulful, high-energy twist. This is a fresh take on the musical arrangements brought to life by an orchestra of nearly 70 musicians, plus a 10-piece marching band drumline. Wow. They spent more than 50 hours producing the 55-minute soundtrack for the show. And this, I think, is really cool. It's going to have an all-new theatrical rendition of Shooting Star, which is a song that was written for the original film. It just didn't make the cut. Now that the music's complete, they're finishing up the other elements, props, costumes, choreography, all in preparation for the maiden voyage this November. One more thing I want to show you here before we move on from the Disney Destiny is the Disney's Oceaneer Club statues. I think these are so cute. Disney's Oceaneers Club and Oceaneers Lab are designed for children ages 3 through 10. The areas have a variety of themed activities and themed areas for the kids in that age range. And one of those areas on the Disney Destiny is actually going to be World of Sugar Rush from Disney's Wreck-It Ralph. The Disney Imagineers are literally bringing the video game to life on the Disney Destiny. This is going to be at the entrance of the youth activities area. I love Wreck-It Ralph. I also love candy. That's totally not the point though. They're gonna have candy-shaped lighting fixtures, custom carpet to look like the speedway from the film with chocolate and caramel sauce, outlining the racetracks, and tying it all together is going to be these life-sized statues. Of course, this is the film's villain turned hero, Wreck-It Ralph, and his sidekick, Vanellope von Schweet. And what they're really highlighting here is the duality of heroes and villains. It's kind of a reminder that even so-called villains can be heroes in their own rights. This is Imagineer Meg Tracy going over the statues, and you're gonna find these on Deck 2 ready to greet all of your tiny humans. And you too if you go to the open house. Pro tip, if you want to check out all the fun things to do in the youth club, they will have open houses on every cruise. This is when adults can go into the clubs. So you can go in there, let your tiny humans show you around, see what they've been doing, or if you're like me and traveling without any tiny humans and just want to check out all the fun things that they have in there, just look for the open house. And another pro tip here, you're going to want to download the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. Once you book your cruise, it'll have a cute countdown. Everything is going to be on that app once you're on board, including the open houses. So once you get the app connected, you can look and see when the open houses are. They're almost always going to have one that first day. That is going to be very busy. They will also have them almost always on port days. That's when you can actually get in there and enjoy the space a bit. They have a roller coaster simulator on the Wish class ships. I haven't tried it yet, but I definitely will be at some point. Okay, before we get into all the global stuff and the new ships, let's talk about the new itineraries real quick. If you are looking for the new itineraries for fall 2026 and spring 2027, those should be announced literally any day now. Last year, fall 2025 and spring 2026 sailings opened at the end of June, so I fully expect to see announcement literally any day now. So stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed. Now, they've also had some price changes recently, and honestly, this one is excellent because a Disney cruise is expensive, but the biggest obstacle in booking a Disney cruise typically is the deposit. They've always had a 20% required deposit, 20% of the fare. That's what you would need to reserve a cruise. And while a cruise can be easy to pay off in the respect that you can make monthly payments, that 20% can be a bit of a deterrent. That 20% can be a little hefty sometimes. So they've changed things. Earlier this month, Disney Cruise Line reduced the required booking deposit from 20% to 10%. This makes a big difference, especially if you're on a budget, which many of us are, because this is going to help reduce the upfront cost of booking a cruise. This was effective for bookings made on or after June 18th. And this also applies to the onboard placeholder reservations. Those will now have a 5% deposit required for 7-night or longer sailings. And pro tip, if you're going on a Disney cruise while you are on board, make sure you get an onboard placeholder. It's $250 and you don't have to pick the cruise at that time. And then you can pick the cruise later once you get home. That way you will save 10% off your next cruise. So for new bookings made after June 18th, the deposit is 10% of the total cruise fare. So if you've been thinking about a cruise and just have been a little bit leery of that deposit, now's your time. And in addition to that, they also have some promotions and offers available. I'll go into that at the end of the video because not everybody wants to hear those. Okay, now one of the other price changes they have made recently is for their specialty dining. Disney Cruise Line has specialty dining on all of their ships. It is for 18 and above, and it's an additional cost. They will all have Palo or Palo Steakhouse, which is a northern Italian restaurant, and then the larger ships will also have Remy or Oceaneer, which is a fine dining French restaurant. This past week, they have announced that they are increasing the pricing for the specialty dining restaurants. Now, what's interesting here is these are being rolled out in a staggered manner across the fleet. So most of the ships have already started this. The Wish started on the 20th, the Treasure on the 21st, the Dream on the 26th, and the Magic on the 27th. The Wonder's a little different though. It's going to begin on June 30th, except for its Australia and New Zealand cruises. So I'm guessing Specialty Dining doesn't have a price increase for Australia and New Zealand this year. That's very interesting. And the Disney Fantasy will have these prices implemented on November 16th, which is going to be after their European season and after their dry dock. So, what's the increase? It is a $10 increase for Oceaneer and Remy for their prix-fixe menu, so that will be $145 for their brunch and dinner. And then Palo and Palo Steakhouse will both have a $5 increase for their prix-fixe and brunch menus, which will be $55 per person. And those that already have existing reservations, don't worry about it. The original pricing will be honored. It's not a big jump in price, but it's definitely good to be aware of. Okay, now diving into Disney's second new ship this year, the Disney Adventure. Now, the Disney Adventure is the massive cruise ship. It was originally intended for another cruise line. They went bankrupt, and Disney got this for a great price, as cruise ships go. It was about 70% completed when they purchased it, so they really had to go with what was there and then re-theme it. So at this point, it's basically like an amusement park at sea. I don't know if they will do more ships like this since they did purchase this one already 70% completed, but man, there is so much going on the Disney Adventure, and we have quite a few updates today. So the Disney Adventure is set to have its maiden voyage this year, December 15th. It will be setting sail from Singapore for 3 and 4 night cruises. These are magical days at sea cruises. That means there are no port stops while you are on the ship. It is strictly the ship is the destination, and what a destination! Very briefly, they've got 7 themed areas. They are completely immersive. It's going to have a huge focus on Marvel, Pixar, and Duffy and Friends. Marvel Landing in particular is going to be a huge draw. They're going to have 3 actual amusement park type rides here: Groot's Galaxy Spin, the Pym Quantum Racers, and the Iron Cycle Test Run. This is the first ever roller coaster aboard a Disney Cruise Line ship. Also, it is the longest roller coaster at sea, spanning over 820 feet. I think another large draw is going to be Toy Story Place. Here they're going to have a family pool, Woody and Jesse's Wild Slides, the Flying Saucer Splash Zone, a Toy Story Splash Zone, and of course they've got to have the Pizza Planet there so you can get some pizza. There's just so much going on this ship. And the one I'm most excited about is San Francisco Street. This is supposed to be the vibrant energy of Tokyo meets the laid-back charm of San Francisco. This is of course from Disney's Big Hero 6. 2 of their youth clubs will be there, and they're actually disguised as shops, so they're like hidden within the street. They'll have Baymax Cinemas, which is supposed to have 4 movie theaters. The Duffy and Friends shop is going to be there. There's a Duffy and Friends Discovery Quest. And I think the very coolest is it's a one-of-a-kind family gaming lounge called Big Hero Arcade. It's gonna have video games and immersive high-tech experiences. I can't wait to check that out. So we've gotten a look at quite a few things for the Disney Adventure this month, but there's a couple that really stand out. And one of them is this announcement for something brand new on the Disney Adventure, and it's a Marvel comic book. So the Disney Adventure has a huge representation from Disney parks. They're gonna have a lot of new Marvel there. They've got that whole Marvel landing with the rides, but they've also got new Marvel shows that are gonna be happening as well. And about a week ago, Disney Cruise Line SG posted over on Instagram, Marvel Fans Assemble. This is an all-original 32-page comic. This is a collector's item, and this is going to be available exclusively on the Disney Adventure. How cool is this? This is a collector's item. This is actually a collaboration between Disney Cruise Line and Marvel Comics. We don't really know much more than that about it at this point, but how cool is this that they've actually created a comic book for the Disney Adventure? I mean, that's next level. Now, speaking of next level, the roller coaster is getting installed, and we've got to look. This is the Iron Cycle test run. It's the longest roller coaster at sea, and they are literally gonna have a roller coaster on top of this ship. We got to look at it while it was on the ground. Now we've got a closer look at it. So Dustin on Deck 4DCL shared these images from Globework Aboard. They're working on this roller coaster, installing it, getting all the wires together. So there were some more pictures of this. I hadn't grabbed them yet, and I think maybe Disney made them take the post down because I can't find it. But anyway, Globework Aboard is there working and installing the new wiring and for the new roller coaster on the Disney Adventure. You can see a close-up of it here. This is just going to be very cool. Now, the biggest update this week for the Disney Adventure is their retail reveal. They're going to have the first ever World of Disney store at sea. World of Disney is going to span 17,000 square feet. This ship is going to have more shopping opportunities than ever before. I just hope they keep them really well stocked. But this is supposed to have quite a few firsts for Disney Cruise Line. So first of all, World of Disney is going to have familiar nautical favorites, a wide range of never-before-seen designs, and these are going to be inspired by the rich natural beauty of Southeast Asia. I really love this Disney Cruise Line fan. I have always got a fan on me when I'm on the ship. It's humid. I'm not very good with humidity. I love that they have this Disney Cruise themed fan. Another first for Disney Cruise Line merch here is going to be the National Geographic store. This is going to be on the cruise ship, offering a line of exclusive co-branded merchandise. Things like stylish shirts, hats, adventure-ready bags, everything perfect for explorers of all ages. Now, one of the things that I think is super cute is Duffy and Friends. For all of us Duffy and Friends fans, the Disney Adventure is going to be the first ever dedicated Duffy and Friends shop. They're going to have exclusive merchandise. Of course, it's going to showcase Duffy and all of his friends. They got to have their nautical themed outfits. How cute is this bear? I also think the blanket's really cute. I definitely want the backpack, and this Spirit jersey, this whole look is just adorable. I think this is probably one of their better Spirit jerseys. And that's not all. They've also got nautical themed boot stores, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. This is really kind of a shopping experience. It's going to cater to cruisers and enhance the experience of buying merchandise on board. And then for concierge guests, they have an even more elevated shopping experience. They will have access to 2 exclusive boutiques. That is very interesting. So you can only shop in these boutiques if you stay concierge. Wow. The first is Palace Treasures, which is going to have luxury goods and fine jewelry. And then 3 Wishes is a boutique with one-of-a-kind apparel, souvenirs, and collectibles. They're also going to have the regular Disney Cruise Line retail venues. That will be Diamonds and Wishes and Treasures Untold. There you can expect to find a mix of luxury items, limited edition collectibles, high-end accessories, and I highly recommend getting a dated coffee mug and a dated ornament while you are there. they are going to have more merch than we have ever seen on one ship before. Okay, moving on. We've got even more for the Disney adventure. On June 12th, the stern decor was installed. This is an 18-foot tall Captain Mickey and a 12-foot tall Captain Minnie. They used a big old crane to put these up on the stern. And this is actually the first time that Captain Minnie and Captain Mickey have been featured on the stern of a ship. This is totally common with Disney Cruise Line ships. They always have a beloved character up on the stern of a ship. I think it's really great that they've got Captain Minnie on this one in particular, of course, along with Captain Mickey. And while we're talking about shopping, actually, we enjoy this game. This was on the Disney Wonder, but this is a Monopoly game that's actually from Disney parks. So we found it. You can buy it, have it shipped to your home. If you do, we get a little commission. Now, I think the really fun merch thing that's coming up are for the holidays. So for Halloween and Christmas, they have specific sailings on Disney Cruise Line. Halloween on the high seas and the maritime cruises. Along with those sailings, they will usually have specific merchandise for the season. Now, these packages do have to be purchased in advance. You can't buy them once you're on the ship. So if you want these, make sure you do it in advance. And I don't remember the exact dates, but somewhere between, I think, 3 and 7 days before the cruise, you can't buy these anymore. So I suggest if you want them, if you see them, buy them right away, because they'll also sell out for sure. So you go to Disney Cruise Line's website, you're going to go to the onboard gifts. You select the port where your cruise is going to be, and then you can see which packages they will have available. You purchase these in advance, you will pay for these in advance, and they will be delivered to your stateroom. So once you get access to your stateroom, this should already be in there, all set up on the bed. It's really cute. The season package is usually going to change from year to year anyway, so you always want to check it out. We've gotten a few of them just because they're different and we really like them. But this year, they've got some other new merchandise as well. So for the spooky season, they have a glow-in-the-dark Halloween room decor. This is Mickey's glowing pumpkin patch. You get to transform your stateroom into a haunted hideaway with Mickey and his friends. This one's gonna have a blanket, a ghostly, a two-sided Mickey and Minnie pillow, a glow-in-the-dark pumpkin drawstring bag, a character banner, and 2 glowing mobile dangler decorations featuring Mickey Mouse and his pals. And you can't buy these items individually on the ship either. You've got to buy these in the packages. For the maritime, they have Celebrate the Season, which is going to bring the magic of Christmas to your stateroom. This is going to have a holiday blanket, a double-sided pillow with a hidden pocket for stashing holiday surprises. I've always wondered what that pocket was for. We thought maybe pajamas. Holiday surprises is great as well. There's also a Goofy stocking, a set of 2 hanging wreath decorations, one with Captain Mickey and one with Captain Minnie, and a playful Pluto shoulder plush. So if you like either one of those, make sure you buy them as soon as they are available, because they almost always sell out. And actually, again, this is one of my favorite mugs from the Disney cruise ship. I found it so that you can have it shipped to your house. If you do, I get a little commission. I love having a Disney Cruise Line holiday mug at home, especially if we're not going on one of the holiday cruises, because I like to celebrate all the time. Okay, now let's get into the next cruise ships and some rumors I've heard. First of all, though, we're going to start with the facts, because recently Meyer Werft has released a calendar. Now, Meyer Werft is the shipyard in Germany where the Disney cruise ships are built. They're not exclusive to Disney Cruise, but this calendar shows just the Disney cruise ship, all of the planned and current Disney cruise ships. So, as you can see here, there are more cruise ships coming. So, let's talk about future cruise ships, because there's a lot more coming. There's actually a 4th Wish class ship coming. So we've got 3 that we know of: the Wish, the Treasure, and the Destiny coming this fall. You can see here that there's a 4th Wish class ship. This was announced at D23 last year, but it's nice to see it all in one place. The 4th Wish class ship will be launched in 2027. There is technically a 5th Wish class ship coming with the Oriental Land Company for Japan in 2028. And then in 2029, 2030, and 2031, we've got 3 brand new ships from an entirely new class class of ships. These are going to be about 20% larger than the Magic class, but definitely smaller than the Dream and Wish class ships. On this calendar, you can see here the mention of the 4th Wish class ship for 2027. We should be getting a lot of news for that very soon, because after the maiden voyage of the Destiny and the Adventure this fall, that's the next new ship. Make sure you're subscribed, turn on the bell, we're gonna have updates. Here's the fun part though. For the 3 new ships that will be in that brand new smaller class of ships, we have seen recently some rumors that it might be named the Meridian class. We've got a whole video on this, so if you want to dive deeper, go check that out. But basically, right now, it's completely a rumor. DCL Duo and Disney Cruise Line blog have posted about it. They heard from a crew member on board that the new class of ships should be the Meridian class. We dive into it a lot deeper into that video, why Meridian, all of the good stuff, but I am really excited to see not only what they're going to name that class of ships, but what they're going to do with them, especially in layout, design, and itineraries. I am so excited for that smaller class of ships. So there's that little tidbit. Now there's also another rumor. This isn't about Disney Cruise Line specifically, but this could affect Disney Cruise Line. We've got a whole video diving into all the details of this one as well, but the rumor is that the Port of Galveston is currently in a non-disclosure agreement for a Universal cruise ship to be delivered in 2031. I'm not sure if that's true or not. We dive into it, but there's a couple of comments on that video that have really great ideas. So good that I hope somebody from Universal is paying attention, because a couple of these would be really cool. GZG said, if Universal does a cruise ship, their private island should be all about Jurassic Park and Kong. Imagine giant dinosaur puppets like Toothless wandering around. I think that'd be super cool. Also, they probably have a few health issues. I'm pretty sure seeing some giant dinosaurs wandering around would elevate my heart rate quite a bit, even if they are puppets, robots, whatever. That would be kind of scary, but I love the idea. I think the best one though is Olivia B3. They should buy an island and build a theme park accessible via cruise only instead of making it a resort. Now that is a game changer, and I completely agree. I don't care if it's Universal or Disney, I definitely think that one of them should build a theme park that is literally only accessible by the cruise ship. That would be so cool. Honestly, I think that's a bit of a gold mine waiting to happen. So if you want to speculate with us, go check out that video. And if you enjoy these videos, if you find any value in them, please share them with your cruise-loving friends, with your cruise group, because I really am trying to grow, and that would help a lot, and I really appreciate you being here and sharing. Now, last but not least is those special offers I promised. Now, if you go to Disney Cruise Line's website, they actually have a special page on their website for special offers and deals. 4 of them are almost always there. That is for U.S. military rates. Canadian residents can save up to 25% on select sailings. Florida residents can save up to 25% on select Caribbean cruises. If you want a Disney Visa credit card, you can earn money by signing up. You also can earn rewards that you can use to pay towards your cruise. In addition to that, they've got deals on select 2025 European sailings. You can save up to 30% on select Australia and New Zealand sailings. And then there are a bunch more select sailings where you can save 30%. These are departing from Port Canaveral, Fort Lauderdale, Barcelona, Southampton, and Galveston. So that's all the Disney Cruise news I've got for you today. Let us know in the comments below, what are you most excited about? Because there is so much going on in the Disney Cruise news world right now. I love it. And if you're hungry for more Disney Cruise, we just did a video recently on the best and worst food items on Disney cruise ships. We polled over 10,000 Disney Cruise fans, and they let us know what are the best and worst things to eat on board a Disney cruise ship. Thanks for being here. We'll see you real soon with some more Disneys.